Good morning. We will start session 3 on chapter motion. Till now in chapter motion we understood about what are physical quantities. That means we understood about scalar and vector quantities. In yesterday's class we understood distance traveled, displacement, speed, velocity and acceleration. We also understood that distance and speed will come under scalar quantity because they have only magnitude, that is number, wherein velocity and acceleration will come under vector quantity since they have a magnitude with a direction. So in today's class, first we will understand what is retardation, and that is nothing but a negative acceleration. Now if you just recapitulate what is acceleration, rate of change of velocity is termed as acceleration. So how do we denote? We write A is equal to V minus U by T. That is, acceleration is given by change in velocity with respect to time. Suppose, let me find a positive acceleration of a body. So assume that this is a body which has an initial velocity of, let us say, 3 meters per second, and it is moving to a particular distance, say B, with a final velocity, so that I can tell 6 meters per second, right? Now acceleration means you are accelerating it, increasing the velocity. That means the body was initially moving with 3 meters per second, increased its velocity to 6 meters per second, say in time, where it took the time as 3 seconds. Okay, let us find the acceleration here. So acceleration is A is equal to V minus U, 6 minus 3 divided by time is 3. So 6 minus 3 is 3 by 3. Acceleration is 1 meter per second square, or you can write 1 meter per second square like this. So here the body attained positive acceleration, right? Now let us look at the example for a negative acceleration. Now what I will do here is, I will take the same example. The body is moving with, let us say, or assume 8 meters per second, and it decreased the velocity to, say, V is equal to 4 meters per second at time 2 seconds. Right? So initially body was moving with the velocity of 8 meters per second, but later it decreased the velocity to 4 meters per second. Might be the road wasn't good, so there were speed breakers. So examples. Now let me find acceleration in this case. So we again know the formula. A is equal to V minus U by T. What is V here? V is 4. What is U? U is 8 divided by time 2. 4 minus 8 will give me minus 4 by 2. 2 1s are, 2 2s are. That means acceleration is minus 2 meters per second square. Now did I get a negative acceleration here? That is nothing but retardation. That means in positive acceleration, velocity increases with respect to time. In negative acceleration, velocity decreases with respect to time. So how do we define? Decreasing the rate of velocity is called as negative acceleration or retardation. See that I have used the word rate. Decrease in the rate of acceleration. Rate means again with respect to time. So this is about negative acceleration. Now we will just go on to the known things what we have already studied about speed and velocity. Let us understand what is average speed and what is average velocity. Now you might have all come across this word. Suppose a vehicle is moving at it has to go to a particular distance. So it covers 2 to 3 different distances at different time, right? That means what is the average speed of the vehicle? That means if I have to go from my house to school, I chose to go in a particular, I covered a particular distance. From school to market a particular distance, from market to again office a particular distance, office back to home. So I covered so many distance. Then what is the time taken by me to cover from home to school? One time. From school to wherever, like office, or from office to back home again, I have traveled several different distances with several different time taken to travel each distance, right? That means what is my average speed in everything? Now it depends again, how is the road condition. Now from Hubli where you stay here, from here you want to go to market, from market to your home back, or market to school, school to park. So distance what you cover with respect to time, how much you take, we have to find their average speed. So what's the formula? Simple. Total distance covered divided by total time taken. So let's assume that. So this is point A, point B is second distance, point C is second distance, point D is third. So I have to move from A to B, B to C, C to D. So from A to B I covered, say, distance, I'll just assume 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer. Here I took, for example, in terms of kilometer, I took 1 hour. Then here I took 3 hours, assume that. And here I took 2 hours. Just an assumption, it's just a hypothetical number. That means, what is total distance covered? 1 plus 2 plus 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6 is the total distance covered. What is total time taken? 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it came to 6 only. So average speed mine is 1 kilometer per hour. I have taken because in terms of kilometer an hour. Just an example to give you. We have numericals based on average speed. We will be doing numericals only in the regular classes, right? So here in this chapter, only the theory part of the motion chapter will be covered. Numericals will be dealt in the regular classes. We have various numericals based on average speed, right? So this was just an example to you. So formula is total distance covered upon total time taken. Now then, what about velocity? Is velocity also the same? Total distance upon total time, because velocity and speed is same. But we also call, you have to also know that velocity is also known as speed with direction, right? Because it's the same speed only, but it has a direction. Velocity is also known as speed with direction. Why? Vector quantity. Average velocity. Now average velocity, if I have to find, again, what is distance covered? It is the actual path traveled. Assume that the same graph I will draw here, A, B, C and point D. Assume that I travel B like A to B like this like this and this in this way. Okay, because it's the actual path travel. I choose my own route. But now velocity when we check, so it is the shortest distance between A and B. I have to check what is the velocity between A and B. Okay, for example, from your home to school you have two routes. One is the internal route and another is the main road route. You have chosen main road route, that is distance travel. But actually internal route I can reach very quickly. It's just one single road. That is displacement, shortest distance between initial and final position of an object. So I have to find V1 between, that is velocity for distance of whatever I have traveled A to B. Then again B to C, how much I have traveled, I have to calculate velocity here. Similarly C to D, I have to check velocity here. That means I need to find velocity 3 times. Sum of the velocities, it comes up to V1 plus V2 plus V3 divided by number of velocities. Now, number of velocities means how many velocities you have? 1, 2, 3 divided by 3. This will give you average velocity of the object, right? Do remember this. If I had traveled 4 different places, it would be upon 4. If I had traveled only 2 places, then that will be V1 plus V2 by 2. We also tell it as U1 plus, or we can also say this as U plus V by 2. Why U plus V by 2? I started here, I only went to one position. So velocity between this initial and final position also we can say u plus v divided by 2. That is nothing but sum of the velocities divided by number of velocities is the formula to find average velocity of the given object. Average speed is total distance covered upon total time taken. So these two formulas you need to remember where we use it to solve the numericals. Few more concepts let's understand from the lesson. Now when we talk about average speed, we talk about average velocity and all etc. We should also know that how is the motion of an object. That means how is the object traveling. Is the object traveling in uniform motion or is the object traveling in non-uniform motion? Now what do you mean by this? Means now from the place where I start, from my home to school if I am going, am I going with a constant speed, right? Quite impossible. Why? Because we have such beautiful roads actually. That is why we cannot go with a constant speed. Our speed varies with respect to if you have, now again it depends how you ride the vehicle. Now what do? Whenever we have a turn, we actually slow down, correct? But if you continue to go in the same speed, of course yes, you can maintain constant speed. It's again up to you how carefully and safely you ride. So uniform motion when we talk about, we are talking something about constant speed. Basically where can we maintain this constant speed? We usually maintain this on the highways, right? Because everybody will go on the same pace, on the same lane, right? That's more important. There usually we follow the constant speed. But when we talk about non-uniform motion, that is we follow the speed is variable. Speed increases or decreases. That is in the usual routine when we go out, our speed increases or decreases depending upon the given situation. How is the road, how is the climatic condition, how is the traffic flow, etc. That means how do we define uniform motion? If an object is traveling equal distance at equal intervals of time, we call that the body is moving with a uniform motion. It is moving equal distance, equal intervals of time. Non-uniform, how do we define? The body is traveling unequal distance, unequal intervals of time. Or equal distance, unequal intervals of time. Or unequal distance, equal intervals of time. That means if distance is equal, then a time won't be equal. If time is equal, distance will not be equal. Otherwise, both are unequal. At that point of time, we say that the body is traveling with a non-uniform motion. So, these are the two basic definitions what we actually have to understand in this lesson. That is what you mean by uniform and non-uniform motion. Now, next we'll move on how to plot the graph of these particular given equation. We will now study how do we represent this motion graphically. We also have some numericals based on this. So now let's only understand how do we represent this graphically. Again the same thing, numericals will be done in the regular classes. So distance time graph, when we talk about, whenever we talk about distance and time, that means we are talking about speed. So in distance time graph, we will be finding out the speed of the object. One foremost thing what you have to understand here is, the graph what we draw have always an x-axis and y-axis. We always represent time in x-axis and any other entity or any other physical quantity in y-axis. Why is that? Because in x-axis we always plot which is independent of something, right? In y-axis we always plot which is depending on something. Now whatever it is, now for example if I have to travel a certain distance, now time is independent of it, right? So time will not decide even if the road is good, road is not good, how I have to go, it takes so time, so that is very fixed. So whatever entities or values are independent, those are always plotted on the x-axis. So remember, time is always plotted on the x-axis and other variables are always plotted in the y-axis. So distance time graph, time with respect to x-axis in terms of seconds and distance in terms of y-axis in terms of meters. Now, I have two examples taken here. That is, one is uniform speed. That means the first graph is representing uniform speed or velocity, and the second graph is representing non-uniform speed and velocity. Now, we know what is uniform, right? The object is traveling equal distance in equal intervals of time. The body is said to move in a uniform speed. If the object moves in a unequal distance, unequal intervals of time, unequal distance, equal intervals of time, equal distance, unequal intervals of time, is said to be a non-uniform speed. Now, how do you say this? Now, for example, if I plot the values here, let's take this as 0. So, time I consider here as 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 8 seconds, right? Distance, how much it is moved. So, I'll take here it as 5, 10, 15, 20. So, at 2 seconds, the body is moved at 5 meter. After again 2 seconds only, that is after 4 seconds, from 0 if I consider, the body is moved at 10. So, if I go on plotting here, this graph comes like this. This means the body is moving equal distance in equal intervals of time. Point number 1. Look at this point here. Same thing if I consider the body is moving in a curved path. That means either the distance is unequal or the time is unequal here. So that is thing. Now here in this part, in the graphical part, how do they ask you to find the speed? For example, let me consider this point as A and this point as B. Okay. The question given here will be, what is the distance, or what is the what you can say here is speed of distance of these two. How much time it will take? What is the speed taken to travel this much of distance? So how do you write this? Actually it is this one part, right? So at that point of time what we do is we draw perpendiculars to the x-axis. Similarly, we draw perpendiculars to the y-axis part here. My perpendicular is not looking like perpendicular. Just assume this is a perpendicular. Okay. So here we want to find how much has this traveled, this much of part. So now whatever is this distance part here, since it is time and distance, we will consider this point as S2 and this point as S1, this point as T1 and this point as T2. So what will be the formula here? Accordingly, speed is equal to, if I have to calculate, or velocity if I have to calculate, distance S2 minus S1 here divided by, with respect to S2, what is the time here? T2 minus T1. With that respect, I will understand how much is the speed between this AB, right? Now here what you do is, you understood the graph part, you understood the formula to calculate, enough. That's more than enough for you to understand, because we will be again dealing with this in the numericals part. With the numericals only, how exactly the sums will come. So this is the basic simple formula to find the speed from the graph. Why? Because in distance time graph, what are we calculating? We are calculating speed, right? Let's move on to the next one. Velocity time graph. Now velocity time graph gives you what? It gives us acceleration, rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Now here I have written uniform motion, uniform accelerated motion. Now why is this? Let me tell you. Now again time, I'll consider this from 2, 4, 6, 8. So here I'll consider this from 5, 10, 15, 20. Now uniform motion means what? With respect to uniform acceleration, that means if I started from a particular point, I did not change my velocity, right? Assume that I am going on a highway. I started from a point till I reach a particular destination, I did not change the speed at all. That means I did not vary the velocity at all. I am going with the constant velocity. If I am going with the constant velocity, then how will the acceleration change? Because acceleration is rate of change, right? Since I am not changing my velocity, that means acceleration is 0. Why? Because now you see here, for example, I started at 2 meters per second, right? Now final velocity also, if I consider, it is 2 meters per second only. Why? Because from again here to here, it is the same thing. So it is here given how much? 4. If I say this, if I check the distance, I'm sorry, this is not 4. I started with this u and I started with v. Till I reach from u to v, my velocity is same. That is 2 meters per second. That means u is equal to v here. Since u is equal to v, if u is 2, v is also 2. Whatever might be the time, if time is 5, 0 by this, what will be acceleration? 0, right? So acceleration is 0 means there is no change in acceleration at all. This is for velocity time graph. But what is happening here? Uniform accelerated motion. The body is moving some distance, but it is changing the velocity. So this is the graph for uniform accelerated motion. Now here what you have to remember is, sometimes the graphs are given and given us to identify. It is given distance, time, velocity, time. Looking at the graph, we have to tell, when we look at this, I can tell this is uniform speed. I can tell this as variable speed, that is non-uniform speed. Looking at this, I can tell this is uniformly accelerated motion. That's also right. I'm sorry, not accelerated motion, uniform motion. Why? Because a constant one. Acceleration is 0 also, if you write, it is correct. This graph, uniform accelerated motion. So this is what we assume from the graphical representation. Graphical representation usually comes in 1 mark, where the graph is given and wherein you need to identify them. From velocity time graph also we can find distance, right? But how is it we find? We'll actually deal that in numericals part, because if I teach you now without any numericals, that will again lead to confusion. Yeah, as we discussed, so in velocity time graph also we can find distance, but we will deal that once we start the numericals in the regular class. So now here what you have to understand that is, we can graphically represent the motion in this way. Sometimes the graph is given, you need to identify what type of a motion it is, whether it is uniform, non-uniform, uniform motion or uniformly accelerated motion. Otherwise, they give you, draw a graph for uniformly accelerated motion, draw the graph for non-uniform velocity. You need not mark, you need not write whatever 2, 3, 5, nothing. You need to just draw the x-axis, y-axis, locate x-axis as time and y-axis as whatever physical entity asked, distance or velocity. And it's a curve, straight line or a linear graph that you have to decide and draw. Yeah, so basically these will be for sometimes 1 mark, but when numericals are involved, the marks will vary. So this is about graphical representation of motion. So in our next class, we will study about another concept of motion, that is equations of motion. Now what do you mean by equations of motion? Which are the equations of motion, and graphically how do we derive it? We will be dealing with that in our next class. So in today's class, one concept whatever we have understood, if you have any doubt in that, you can call on the same day of the video set. Thank you.